Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Get cozy and let's jump into today's speed build. Today we will be building a 2-story Tudor style home inspired by this one that I found on Pinterest. I thought it was so cute with the little tower right at the center, so I just had to recreate it. So let's get into it. So to start the build, I'm going to first put down this octagonal shaped room. I know I just said that wrong. This will be the tower and will also kind of be the entry, so everything's just gonna kind of surround it. And then I'm building out the little wings of the house from here. So I've got one on that side, and then I'm just doing one the same size on this side and just connecting them in the back. And then I'm going to add some little bump outs, a little bay window here. This is going to be the back porch. And then just a couple more bump outs here in the back just to give it a little bit of dimension. Next, I'm going to be adding the second floor. I didn't mean to copy the whole first floor, just the tower, because the second floor is going to be slightly smaller. As you can see, I'm just building this out one tile back from the first floor, and that's just going to be for my roofing, as you'll see later. But right now, before I move any further, I'm going to go ahead and add fencing to my back porch so I don't forget and try to roof it later. Next, I am raising the house up one level, maybe two, and adding foundation. And then I'm going back up to the second floor here to start the roofing. My inspiration picture has a very unique roof. Those high gables are such a big characteristic of Tudor style homes. So I'm starting there. I want to make sure I really bring out those high peaks and the octagonal roof for the tower. The rest can just kind of blend into the back. As you can see, I'm not hiding the faces of these roofs and instead letting that triangle shape face out, kind of like it will be in the front of the house. I just think it adds charm and will look really great with the Tudor style wallpaper that I add later. Now you'll notice the tower of the roof piece is just kind of like blending into the rest. I really want that to be a prominent feature of the house though, so I decided to add another level just for this part of the house and then add the roof on top of that. It seemed kind of odd at first, but I actually really like the dimension it's giving. It kind of looks like a nice little wizard hat for the house. It's time to add the little pieces of the roof. So here I'm just going to all the little bump outs and adding the roofing for that and roofing for these different levels as well. So this is between the first floor and the second floor. Just kind of making a different layer here just to add some more dimension and lowering it down. I'm just going to copy that same piece now that it's been adjusted and put it back here, and then copy it again and add it to this side as well. So it's all matching. And then I'm copying that first bump out from before and adding it to this one. And I'm realizing it's a little bit off, so I'm going to move this room just one tile over and see if that makes it look better. Then once I like how that looks, I'm just going to copy that to the other bump out. Just kidding, I actually still don't like it, so I'm moving these one more tile in, and now they line up perfectly with the top roofing. Next, I'm going to add the roof swatch. So sticking with the gingerbread house vibe, I'm going for a more scalloped roof, so I end up using the main swatch of this one from Base Game, and I'm just adding that to all of my roofs. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a roof trim. I want kind of a scalloped look, so I end up going with this one from City Living, I believe, in the dark wood swatch. So I'm adding that to all my roofs. And then I noticed that I forgot to add a roof piece here, so I'm adding that in as well. While adding stairs to the back porch, I thought I might put some leading to the front door as well, but looking back at my inspiration pic, I see it's more of like a landscaped step up, which means it's time to whip out the terraforming tool. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the house back a few tiles. The terraforming will be pretty simple on this build. It's a short step up, so just enough of an incline that your sim can easily walk up. For this, I'm going to use the flatten to height tool, using control and the right bracket key to move up one time. And that's it. Easy. Now I'm going to be putting on all the doors and windows. I'm going to be using, I think, only items from the Get Together pack. They just fit so well with the Tudor style, and there's a big variety of windows and doors in this pack already, so I'm just going to stick with those. As I work around the house, I'm just trying to use as many different windows as possible, saving the more decorative ones for the front and maybe the more plain ones for the back, just a little bit more practical. And using these different ones in different places just brings a little bit more character to the house. I'm also thinking about how I want the natural light to hit inside of the house. I already kind of have an idea of the room layouts, where the kitchen will be, where the living room will be. So I'm just trying to make sure I have enough natural light in those areas as well. Next, again, I'm looking at my inspiration pic and I see this beautiful arched window in the tower. So I'm going to look for something I can use for that. There aren't really any good ones in the Get Together pack, so I'm looking through everything right now. I end up going with this one from Discover University, and I'm going to go through every single color swatch here too, just because I'm so indecisive, but I end up going with this one. It just feels like the right vibe, even though it doesn't really match the one in the picture exactly. It's just, it works. Now for the second floor windows, I can kind of see them in the picture, so the placement of these are really based more on that. I'm also going to have a bedroom in each of these wings, so I'm just placing the windows in a way that gives them the most natural light. And as always, a cute little bump out needs a cute little window. So in my head, I'm placing the bathroom and a little hallway and the staircase in this back corner of the second floor. So I'm adding little windows to the side and then big windows in the back just to help bring in more light to those areas. I realized at some point that the eaves from the second floor roofing hang pretty low, so I'm going to go ahead and change those big windows to some that are a little bit shorter just to help them fit better. As I said before, I had an idea in my head of where I wanted these rooms to be and where I wanted the walls to be, but at this point in the build, I thought, let me just go ahead and add them so I don't have to keep thinking about it. Then I go upstairs just for a second to add the location of each bedroom. I'm going to go in and change them later, but I just wanted to get those walls in first and then go back down for the staircase. So here I was thinking this little nook would be perfect for the staircase. It would just kind of fit in right there. But I realized I don't have a room above that space. So for that 1x3 tile area, I just closed it off with a wall. Now I'm going back up to add the large bathroom, and then I'm just going to edit these rooms a little bit. I want these rooms to be a little bit more funky and not such a square box. This is an old Tudor home after all, so nothing says character more than weird shapes. And don't worry, I didn't forget the roofing on this bump out. I'm just going to copy one from the first floor and add it in here with a few adjustments, and she's ready to go. With that done, I'm gonna go ahead and keep adjusting all these windows outside. Obviously those eaves are hanging pretty low and the trim as well, so I'm just going through and fixing those. This one was giving me a little bit of trouble. So just getting all of those aligned where the eaves are not blocking the sunlight coming in. Now I'm just adding windows into these attic spaces, I guess. I don't really know what to call them in The Sims. Obviously, in a normal house, that would be the attic. And then these back ones seem kind of weirdly big, but I just really wanted to add some dimension. And I also just really like these windows, and they didn't really fit anywhere else on the house. Last but not least of the windows is a small one at the top of this tower. I've got this one here from Cottage Living. It ended up being perfect. I couldn't decide though if one or two ended up looking better here. Now that I'm watching it back, I think I like one better. I don't know. Let me know what you think actually in the comments, and maybe I'll put a poll somewhere in my post too. Next is the exterior wallpaper. I actually used this swatch on my Stardew Valley legacy save, where I'm building houses and families based on characters in Stardew Valley. And I'm going to do a legacy play with that eventually. But I built the Wizard's Tower from that game, and it's looking a lot like this tower. I really love these Tudor wall swatches in the Get Together pack. There's so many options you can mix and match on your builds, both exterior and interior. It just looks so cute and authentic. I'm putting my favorite style on the frontmost prominent part of the house, and then using the straight up and down style for the other parts. On the corners, I'm adding the diagonal one. It just kind of gives the illusion of support beams. And I'm pretty sure my inspiration photo has something similar on the corners. I'm also just really quickly lowering the roof pieces on this first level just so it can show a little bit more of that detailing. I didn't want to do this stone wallpaper around the entirety of the house, just the front. So right now I'm looking for a dark wood paneling for the back. I tried a few from base game, but I think I ended up going with one from Dogs and Cats, I believe. Again, it's just adding a little bit more dimension and a little bit more of that Tudor style home characteristic. Now it looks like it's all coming together. I'm just going to do some details on the roof next. I'm going to start with some corbels, again from Get Together. Like, this pack really has everything, so these really bring it all together. So I'm just adding that to each of the peaks of the roofs here. Next, I'm just going to add a couple of roof pieces. So first I'm going to grab this spire. It's a little too big for the top of the tower, but it looks good back here. So I'm just going to keep the original swatch on that. And then for the spire, I just want kind of a smaller little point. And this one actually is perfect. So I'm going to stick with that one. And there's the roof done. Now I'm just kind of checking out my build a little bit, making sure I didn't miss anything. Honestly, it's starting to look really cute. I just love how it looks so far. Now I'm just going to add a few little exterior wall pieces like this balcony that comes in the Get Together pack and these wall planters. They're just so cute, and I love that they repeat like that Tudor wallpaper style. It just really brings it all together. This pack just has it all, honestly. I'm just doing some final checks all around and making sure I didn't miss anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting some vine on the wall. These are all from the Get Together pack. I just like to alternate the colors a little bit. And I'm changing the window here so that the vines just frame it a little bit better and don't block the windows so much. I'm adding a few more to the corners around the side. And I'm going to add a big ivy wall right here in this gap just to fill the space and also help create some separation. And then very quickly, I'm just going to add these little wall planters, also from Get Together. I'm about to start landscaping, but before I do, I need to add some exterior lights. This truly might be one of my favorite parts of building, just the way that the lights make the build glow at night in a completely different view from daytime. I just really love it. I also realized at this point that I forgot to add another small balcony under the arch window. So I'm using the Space Game one, but I actually end up changing it to one from Wedding Stories instead that has a little bit more detail. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Landscaping. I honestly don't like landscaping that much. I think I do okay at it, but it just takes so long to do it, in my opinion. So now I'm just putting the sidewalk in leading up to the house. I don't want the lines to be too harsh, so I'm just softening it up here around the edges. So now you're going to see me scroll through debug for a little bit. There's a very specific item I'm looking for in the Get Together debug. It's this half-rounded kind of stone fence. Obviously, we can't really do that in the game unless you want to mess with round rooms, and I really don't want to mess with round rooms. So I'm just using that, and I was digging for something else and found these little, I don't even know what to call them, but I thought they looked cute, so I'm putting those there. Next, I'm looking for, again, another low fence just to kind of frame the landscaping that's going to go there. I found these two, but they're not exactly what I'm looking for. I don't actually end up finding what I was looking for anyway, and no, I still don't have that organized debug mod from Twisted Mexi, but I will soon, okay? Just bear with me. So as you can see, I did find these low stone fences from the Jungle Adventure pack, and those ended up doing just the trick. Anyway, back to what I was saying about landscaping. Let me get back on my soapbox here. If I could just click a button and all of these plants were here, it would be great. If they were just an item that already existed, all lined up perfectly, that would be amazing. But I usually have to end up doing what I do here, which is rotating, resizing, and just copying the same item over and over. It's a little bit tedious, so that's just what I don't like about it. Maybe that's just me. Obviously, this way you can customize and make any design you want the individual plants, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I would just love to have a pre-made neat little row of flower bushes or a garden bed that's already made into different shapes, so I don't have to do all of this. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox. The planting of all of these, it goes by really fast. I have this sped up because in real time, this probably took me 30 minutes at least, if not more, just getting all of these little bushes lined up exactly how I want them. And then I add some flower bushes here in a minute too. And just getting all of that the way it needs to look took so much time. Maybe an hour total. I don't know. But I just wanted to show the whole process since this little walk-up is important to the build. For the most part, on my other builds, I do something really simple and really easy, really quick. Now I'm just alternating the color of these flower bushes. They're all the same. I'm sticking with the same pink and yellow from the vines up on the wall. And again, just shrinking each one down, placing it, switching the color, and doing that over and over again. Then I'm just gonna reshape these a little bit, reline them, just get everything kind of where it needs to be straightened out. And it's starting to look really good, a lot like I wanted it to look like, so that's good. I do really love placing trees. I just love the trees in The Sims. They're all so different and they mix well together. I remember watching another Sims building video once upon a time that said the best way to landscape your lot is by zooming out and looking at how things are in the world around your lot and to just kind of mirror that. So for my trees, I'm starting first with these cypress trees just to kind of help frame the walkway. But then I'm going to start mixing in some trees that kind of blend into the world around my lot. And I'm going to go ahead and add a few others like some birch trees and my favorite tree, which is a quaking aspen. I love that one. I put at least one of those in every single build. I don't care if it doesn't match. I love them. Then I'm just taking these tall cypress trees and putting those around a little bit as well. As I finish up landscaping, I realize I still don't have any flooring on my back patio. So I found this nice dark wood that really blends into the stairs and the railing. I actually decided to just use it throughout the house too. That dark wood flooring is another like staple Tudor style home characteristic. I didn't do any furnishing or decorating for this build today. I did end up adding doors and wall paint throughout the house later. Um, you'll see those if you decide to download it from the gallery. I'm actually considering doing a part 2 of this house just for the furniture and decorations. Let me know if you'd be interested in that kind of thing. I probably will do more decorating videos in the future, or maybe like a 2-in-1 build and decorate. We'll see. I just have so many ideas for builds right now. It's crazy. I actually have a note in my phone where I keep track of every idea that I get. Now for the finishing touches, I'm just going around with the terrain paint, just adding some dirt and dimension to the grass. Obviously, no one's yard is perfect, so I'll also add this around the perimeter of the house too, just to make it a little bit more realistic and grounded. Then I almost forgot a swing set. I thought of this like mid-build. It would be really cute to have a swing set out here. I love this one with the string lights around it from the Growing Together pack. And I'm just finishing that off with a little terrain paint underneath, where you like tear up the grass, speeding up and slowing down. I love adding that cute little detail to every swing set. This is also where I realized I almost forgot the mailbox. This one's just perfect for this build. And then I also want to add a little bike over here. So I have this one from Businesses and Hobbies. I just love this one with the little basket. It's so cute. Lastly, I am adding in this little pedestal light. As you can see in the inspiration pic, there's this little light to help folks see that short step up to the front door. So I'm just mimicking that as best as I can. And again, I'm using a little outdoor light from the Get Together pack. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay cozy. Sol sol.